Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Speak Better podcast. I am Louie, and today I bring something important. There is a simple truth about learning English that many people never discover in their entire journey. It is a truth that can save you months of frustration and open a new direction inside your mind. This truth is quiet, simple, and incredibly powerful, and it can change your English completely today. You may feel stuck with English. You may feel tired, or you may feel lost in complicated methods. Maybe you study vocabulary lists, but forget them tomorrow, leaving your mind tired and confused again. Maybe you try grammar rules, but they do not help you speak clearly when real conversations appear suddenly. Maybe you watch movies, but the sentences move too fast, and everything feels like noise inside your ears. Maybe you repeat lessons again and again, but your confidence does not grow, and your voice stays quiet. This frustration is real, my friends, and many learners experience it silently every single day. They think they are slow. They think they are not talented. They think something is wrong with them. But nothing is wrong. Nothing is missing. Nothing is broken inside your learning process today. The problem is the method, the heavy method that tries to force English into your mind with pressure. And here is the part nobody tells you. The part that can unlock your English more than anything else. English does not grow with pressure. English grows with exposure, calm repetition, and gentle understanding. And the best way to give your brain this gentle exposure is not speaking first or listening first. The best way is reading in simple English, slowly, quietly, with real curiosity every day. Reading is the hidden key, the quiet engine, the soft guide that builds your English from inside. Reading gives your mind time to breathe, time to connect, and time to learn without stress. Reading shows you real English sentences, real ideas, and real language that your brain can understand clearly. Reading is slow enough for your brain to follow, but powerful enough to make deep memory connections. Reading gives you vocabulary in context, grammar in action, and structure in a calm and natural way. Reading trains your brain to think in English, not to translate word by word with frustration. Reading may look simple, but it is one of the strongest tools you can use to learn English fast. You do not need difficult books. You do not need advanced novels. You only need easy English today. Because easy reading grows your confidence, grows your vocabulary, and grows your understanding naturally. This is the moment where your learning changes direction, my friends, where everything becomes clearer and lighter. And soon, we will begin walking through the steps that make reading your strongest learning habit every day. Stay close, because in the next part, we start with Step 1, the step that opens the door to easy reading. Step 1. Are you reading the wrong books without knowing it? Now, my friends, we begin with the first step, the step that decides your entire reading experience. This step is about choosing the right English, the English your brain can understand with calm. Many learners choose books that are too difficult, and they do not know why they feel frustrated. They open a book and understand a few words, but everything else feels heavy, unclear, and impossible. Their mind gets tired quickly, because every sentence becomes a small wall they must climb slowly. This is why the first step is simple but extremely important. Choose easy English for daily reading. Easy English does not mean weak English. It means English your brain can absorb naturally and gently. Your brain learns faster when it understands most of the text, not when it fights every sentence. This is the rule many learners never hear. The rule that saves your confidence and energy today. Choose a book where you understand around 80% or 90% of the content clearly. When you understand most of the words, your brain relaxes, breathes, and learns without heavy pressure. When you understand the story, your mind stays open, curious, and ready for new vocabulary slowly. When the reading feels smooth, your motivation grows, your confidence grows, and your English grows today. For beginners, the best choice is simple stories made for your level, often called graded readers. These books are small, clear, and designed to help you build real English structure with gentle repetition. You can read one page, understand the story, and feel progress without confusion or frustration inside. This is the gym with light weights, the place where your English gets stronger without hurting you. And soon, we will move into the second step, the step that shows how reading builds vocabulary naturally. Stay close, my friends, because step 2 reveals why words stay in your mind when they appear inside stories. Step 2. The secret to learning vocabulary without studying vocabulary. Now we move into the second step. The step that makes vocabulary grow naturally inside your mind. Many learners try to memorize long lists of words, but their brain forgets everything the next day. They repeat the same words again and again, but those words never appear in real conversations clearly. This method feels heavy because the words have no story, no context, and no emotional connection. Your brain does not remember isolated words. Your brain remembers words living inside real situations today. This is why reading becomes your secret weapon, your simple tool for learning vocabulary without pressure. When you read a story, every new word appears inside a scene, inside an action, inside a real moment. Your brain understands the meaning through the situation, not through translation or long explanations. For example, when you read, "She opens the door slowly," you understand open without memorizing anything. When you read, "He feels tired after work," you understand tired because the story shows the feeling clearly. The meaning becomes natural, gentle, and strong because your brain connects the word to the situation. This connection builds memory faster than any list, faster than any rule, faster than any dictionary. Reading gives you repeated exposure to the same words, creating strong familiarity without heavy study. You see the same verbs, the same structures, the same expressions slowly growing inside your mind. Each time you see a word again, your brain says, "I know this," and the word becomes part of you. This is the magic of reading, the silent method that teaches vocabulary without memorization or stress. It feels slow on the surface, but inside your mind, something powerful is happening every time you read. Your vocabulary grows deeper, your understanding grows stronger, and your confidence grows naturally today. And soon, we move into the third step, the step that shows why reading improves your grammar without studying rules. Stay close, my friends, because step 3 will change how you see grammar forever. Step 3. How reading fixes your grammar without studying grammar rules. Now we move into the third step. The step that transforms grammar into something simple and natural. Many learners think grammar only comes from books, rules, formulas, and long explanations, full of confusion. They try to memorize structures, but when they need to speak, their mind becomes tense and unsure. They know the rule on paper, but the rule disappears the moment a conversation begins. Suddenly, the problem is not grammar itself. The problem is learning grammar without seeing it in real action. Grammar is not a list of rules. Grammar is the shape of sentences, the natural form of communication. And reading shows you these shapes again and again. Gently, without pressure or complicated explanations. When you read, your brain sees real English structure inside real ideas and real stories every day. You see how sentences begin, how sentences grow, and how ideas connect in simple and clear patterns. You do not need to analyze each part, because your mind learns quietly through repetition and exposure. For example, when you read, "She is working today," you understand the structure without studying the rule. When you read, "They went home early," you see past simple in action, not as a formula but as a story. This is how grammar becomes familiar. How grammar becomes natural. How grammar becomes part of your instinct. Reading gives you hundreds of examples of grammar without effort, without stress, and without confusion. Over time, your mind begins to feel what is correct, because you have seen the pattern many times before. This feeling is more powerful than remembering a rule, because it comes from real language contact. Your sentences start to sound clearer, cleaner, and more natural, because the structure lives inside you now. This is why reading builds grammar faster than studying grammar, faster than repeating rules or charts. It gives you a quiet understanding, a soft confidence, and a strong foundation for speaking English today. And soon, we move into the fourth step. The step that shows how reading improves your pronunciation and fluency quickly. Stay close, my friends, because step 4 will open a new connection between reading and your voice. Step 4. The simple reading trick that makes you speak more fluently. Now, we move into the fourth step. The step that connects reading to your voice and pronunciation. Many learners read silently, and that is good. But reading aloud gives you something even more powerful. When you read aloud, your mouth practices English sounds, your breath finds rhythm, and your voice gains confidence. Your mind sees the sentence. Your voice repeats the structure, and your brain connects everything together. This connection is deep, simple, and effective because you are training multiple skills at the same time. You are reading, speaking, listening to yourself, and building muscle memory with every single sentence. Reading aloud helps your tongue move in new ways, helping you produce sounds that once felt difficult. It teaches your mouth to follow English patterns naturally, without fear or tension stopping your voice. It also makes your speaking smoother, because your mouth becomes familiar with entire phrases and expressions. When you read aloud slowly, your pronunciation becomes clearer and your sentences feel more confident today. You do not need to speak loudly. You do not need to speak fast. You only need gentle repetition. This gentle practice gives your brain comfort and your voice freedom, helping you speak more naturally. Reading aloud also reduces hesitation, because your mouth already knows how sentences sound in real English. Your fluency improves quietly because you practice real rhythm, real structure, and real pronunciation daily. This is why reading aloud is such a powerful tool, a small habit with a huge impact on speaking. It transforms reading from silent understanding into active communication, giving your English a living voice. And soon, we move into the fifth step. The step that reveals a technique many learners never use at all. Stay close, my friends, because step 5 shows how reading and listening together can multiply your progress. Step 5. Reading and listening. Now we move into the fifth step. The step that multiplies your learning power using two senses together. Many learners only practice reading, and many learners only practice listening, but very few combine both at the same time. When you read and listen together, your brain receives the same English message through different channels. Your eyes see the structure. Your ears hear the sound, and your mind connects meaning with clarity. This connection is strong, natural, and incredibly effective because your brain gets double exposure instantly. When you follow the words with your eyes while listening to the audio, something powerful happens inside. You hear the correct pronunciation. You see the real spelling, and you feel the natural rhythm of English. Your understanding becomes deeper because the story enters your mind through two pathways working together. You also improve your pronunciation without thinking because your ears guide your mouth toward natural sound patterns. This technique removes confusion, reduces guessing, and builds confidence by showing you how English truly flows. It feels simple, but inside your mind, the effect is big, strong, and long-lasting each day. You do not need a difficult audiobook. You do not need a long story. You only need easy English. Just 10 minutes with audio and text can change how you understand English in a very short time. Your listening becomes clearer. Your reading becomes smoother, and your vocabulary becomes stronger every moment. This is one of the fastest ways to grow your English without heavy study or complicated methods. Try it with a short story, a small chapter, or any easy book with audio available for practice. Soon, your brain will start to recognize patterns, phrases, and rhythm with much greater confidence today. And soon, we move into the sixth step. The step that teaches you how to read without stopping for every word. Stay close, my friends, because step 6 reveals how to understand English even when vocabulary feels unknown. Step 6. How to understand English even when you don't know every word. Now we move into the sixth step. The step that removes fear when you see unknown vocabulary today. Many learners stop reading every time they find a new word, and this breaks their confidence immediately. They run to the dictionary again and again, hoping each translation will help them understand the full message. But this creates frustration because the story loses flow, and the brain cannot enjoy the reading anymore. The secret is simple, my friends. You do not need to understand every word to understand the idea. Your brain can guess meaning using context, using the words around the unknown word, using the situation carefully. When you see a sentence, like he walked into the room quietly, you understand quietly through the action happening. When you read, she grabbed her bag quickly, you understand, grabbed, because the story shows movement immediately. Your brain is smarter than you think, and it can find meaning even when one word feels unfamiliar today. This is the skill of inference, the ability to guess meaning without stopping your reading flow constantly. It is a powerful skill because real conversations never stop for you to check every new expression easily. Reading with inference trains your mind to stay calm, flexible, and confident in the middle of uncertainty. It builds a natural tolerance for missing information, a strong ability for understanding general meaning consistently. This skill makes reading faster, makes reading lighter, and makes reading more enjoyable every single day. When you focus on the overall idea, your brain stops panicking and starts learning quietly through exposure. You will be surprised how many words you understand later, simply because you met them inside real context. This technique becomes easier with practice, and your confidence grows each time you resist the dictionary. Understanding becomes smoother, because your mind begins to trust itself and follow the story naturally. And soon, we move into the 7th step. The step that turns reading into a daily habit that never feels heavy. Stay close, my friends. Because step 7 will show how small routines create big English progress. Step 7. What should you read? The books that make English finally click. Now we move into the 7th step. The step many learners skip because they do not know where to begin. Choosing the right book can feel confusing, but the right choice can make English feel simple. Again, the secret is not reading difficult novels. The secret is reading stories that match your level today. When you start your journey, your best choice is small books written for English learners with easy words. These books are clear, gentle, and designed to help you follow the story without stopping every moment. You can try simple versions of famous stories, like short editions of Sherlock Holmes or Dracula made for beginners. These versions tell powerful stories, but in language that feels soft, friendly, and comfortable to understand. You can also choose stories you already know in your language, because your mind understands the plot immediately. This familiarity helps your brain focus on the English, not on trying to follow a complicated storyline. Another great choice is light and modern books written for young readers, books with simple structure and clear language. These books feel friendly, and many learners enjoy titles like Percy Jackson because the English flows naturally. Some learners love humorous stories, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, because the sentences are short and easy to follow. The goal is not to read something difficult. The goal is to read something enjoyable with clear English patterns. Enjoyment builds consistency, and consistency builds progress, helping your English grow quietly day after day. Reading is strongest when you feel comfortable, when the story moves smoothly, and when your mind stays relaxed. Choose books that make you curious, books that make you smile, books that make English feel alive today. Easy reading does not mean childish reading. Easy reading means learning with calm, clarity, and confidence inside. This step is about finding stories that speak to you. Stories that make English feel natural and warm. And soon, we move into the last part of this message. The part that brings everything together with motivation. Stay close, my friends, because the next part will speak directly to your heart and your English journey. Your English grows every time you read. Now, my friends, remember this simple truth today. Reading gives your English quiet strength with every page. Each story you read builds confidence, builds vocabulary, and builds clear understanding deep inside your mind. You grow through small moments. You grow through calm practice. You grow through simple daily reading. This journey is working. Your English is moving. And your voice is becoming stronger each passing day. Stay close to your books. Stay gentle with yourself. And let your English grow naturally with time. And I am here with you, guiding each step, helping your English feel lighter, clearer, and more possible. Keep reading, keep learning, keep moving, and let your progress continue quietly inside your daily life.